Hey there guys, I'm back to another game review. Today I am very excited to talk about Sonic Dream Team on Apple Arcade. Announced surprisingly last month, Sonic fans get one last game to check out before closing out 2023. A 3D mobile adventure with 6 playable characters, a ton of levels, and colorful graphics. The downside of all of this is Sonic Dream Team's exclusivity on Apple/iOS devices, which caused some controversy within the Sonic community. Now that Sonic Dream Team is fully released, is the game worth checking out, or does it sadly miss the mark? Let's find out.
Sonic Dream Team has been in development for over a year now, developed by Hardlight. They're the ones responsible for other Sonic mobile games such as Sonic Dash and Sonic Racing. I only played Sonic Jump and Sonic Dash, and that was years ago. Decent clones of other mobile games, but nothing really stuck out. I'm not the biggest mobile gamer anyway, so when Sonic Dream Team was announced, I was kind of excited. The project looked much better than anything else Hardlight has produced so far, as it's a full-on 3D Sonic adventure. It's exclusive to Apple Arcade, which means it won't come to Android/other devices. I know many fans were disappointed to hear this, as this would lock the game to a digital-only service, on top of it being exclusive to iOS devices. I know Apple products are nowhere near as popular as they are in the US, so it does alienate the game to other players. While it would be nice to have it released on Android devices or even console/PC, I understand Apple funded the project, which is why it's of much higher quality compared to other Sonic mobile games. It's sad because Sonic Dream Team is literally the best Sonic game released this year. Starting with the story, Eggman has found the Reverie, an ancient device that can make any dream become reality. Sonic and friends catch whiff of this as Eggman captured Cream and Cheese to get his device online. Sonic and Co. are left with no other choice than to follow Eggman into the dream world to save Cream and Cheese and stop the Doctor's plans. Enter REM. She's the protector of the Reverie. She needs dream orbs to become strong enough to stop Eggman because he's already caused havoc across Reverie Haven. Sonic's crew must now complete levels to help REM get stronger. Obviously, this is just them explaining the gameplay components mixed in with the story, but it works surprisingly well here. It is interesting how Sega still finds new ways to tell the same old Sonic vs. Eggman storyline. Sonic Dream Team's dream components allow the story to have a colorful aesthetic. Ian Flynn is one of the writers for the game, and I love what he did for these characters. It's so awesome to see him rise up from the Sonic Archie/IDW comics to now writing for multiple Sonic games. The cast is well characterized here and shouldn't surprise any modern Sonic fan in how they act. REM is a pretty cool character as she guides Sonic along this journey. She's an ancient being who's protected the Reverie all her life. She's useful in moving our characters in the right direction. While we likely won't see her in future Sonic games, she was wonderful in Sonic Dream Team. The story won't blow your mind as it's another tale between Sonic vs. Eggman. The dream elements are dope as we get visuals we don't normally see in Sonic games. Flynn's writing shines once more in characterizing Sonic and friends. REM is another great addition to Sonic's huge cast of characters. If you like Sonic, you'll like the story of Sonic Dream Team. Gameplay wise, this is where I feel most of the community was scared of. Playing a 3D Sonic game on your phone might be tricky, but they somehow managed to pull it off. Like I said, I'm not the biggest mobile gamer, and the only game I really play on my phone is Tetris. Using touchscreen buttons to move around in Sonic Dream Team works great. Sometimes the touchscreen buttons might not register, or I might hit them on accident, but it's good enough for a mobile experience. As you play Sonic Dream Team, you'll unlock more of Sonic's friends. There are 6 characters split into 3 different categories. Sonic and Amy are the speed characters that can do the lightspeed dash across a trail of rings. Tails and Cream can fly across gaps and reach new heights. Lastly, Knuckles and Rouge can glide and climb up specific surfaces. I'm glad that Hardlight brought back the character type gameplay. It's almost like the Sonic Adventure games. While there are 6 characters to play as, you're only really picking between 3 of them. There's no major difference between the shared types, it's just a matter of who you want to play as. Everyone has the ability to boost and do the homing attack. The homing attack is very generous with its range, which isn't a bad thing. Feel free to abuse it if you happen to fall and need to save yourself. The movement feels really good. Most of the time I feel in control of my character. I only lose control because of the touchscreen buttons or the camera sometimes getting in the way. Otherwise, playing Sonic Dream Team feels amazing. The level design is great as well. When an act starts, you'll have multiple iterations of the level to pick from. The first one is almost like a traditional 3D Sonic level, except a little more open. The goal is to reach the end, but there's also 5 rings and 30 blue coins to find. There's no rank given at the end of the level, so feel free to take your time. The collectibles are well hidden, which makes replay value very high. After the first level is complete, the other iterations will feature different challenges and mostly the same level design. It can be running through rings to keep the time going or complete the level before the timer runs out. All the levels shouldn't take you more than a few minutes to complete, as most players are going to be playing on their iPhone, requiring short bursts of fun. If the levels were as long as Sonic Unleashed levels, that would defeat the purpose of a mobile experience. There's also specific character levels where you have to play as one of the 3 types to complete them. These levels usually have different level design, especially if it's for Tails/Cream or Knuckles/Rouge. I really enjoyed these levels because they're well designed for the characters in mind. At the end of each world, there is a boss fight. They use one of the character types for each of them, highlighting their special skill in each fight. Fun boss fights that never gave me a challenge. All in all, Sonic Dream Team is the most fun I've had in a Sonic game in years. Not to say I didn't like Sonic Frontiers, as they did a superb job bringing Sonic to the open world, but man, Dream Team has some great 3D Sonic levels here. None of them feel tedious or tiresome. The most challenging part is having to remind yourself to grind set more often as you get further into the adventure. The 3 character type style works great, and you could freely swap between them in certain levels. The boss fights are nothing to write home about, but I seriously enjoyed my time with Sonic Dream Team. My only gripe with the gameplay is the controls. Because it is locked to Apple Arcade, playing off of your iPhone will cause problems with the touchscreen stuff. If you don't own a backbone controller or aren't playing through an Apple TV, it's going to hinder your gameplay experience. Touchscreen controls will never be as responsive as buttons, so don't stress too much if you happen to die or mess up an input. Sonic Dream Team is very generous with checkpoints and the like, which is why I never felt frustrated or aggravated during my playthrough. Presentation-wise, Sonic Dream Team works well on my iPhone 13. The visuals are amazing, on par with previous generation console graphics. The few cutscenes we have are very well animated and the most movement I've seen these characters have in a while. Seriously, they shine so much more when these cutscenes happen, and I was disappointed that these weren't the main way cutscenes were presented in the game. The main cutscenes are these slideshow comic book panels, which are fine, obviously of lower production value, but at least they're presented nicely. The frame rate is usually stable. Because I was recording my playthrough, if I was playing too long, the game would have a hard time keeping up. Frames would start to dip or outright freeze the game for a moment. If you feel like your iPhone is getting kind of hot, you expect the frames to drop a bit. Still, I would say the game ran stable for 85 to 90% of my playthrough. Sonic Dream Team ran very well on my iPhone 13.
Seriously, Sonic Dream Team is one of the best Sonic games released in years, and without doubt, the best Sonic game released in 2023. Too bad it's an exclusive to Apple Arcade, otherwise more Sonic fans will be able to enjoy this game. The story is nothing amazing, but brings in colorful visuals for the franchise that we haven't seen in a few years. The gameplay is so much fun with its quick levels and excellent level design. 6 playable characters who all control similarly, but have their unique trait to make them different enough. The presentation is spot on visually, with a few hiccups performance-wise if you're playing long sessions. I only wish this game was on PC/consoles because the touchscreen controls are truly the only problem I can see other people having with the game. The Backbone 1 controller or having an Apple TV solves this issue, but not everyone's going to have that or be willing to drop over $100 to play more comfortably. Worst case scenario, you're gonna have to deal with the touchscreen buttons. They're not too bad, but it's not ideal either. If you have an iOS device that can play Apple Arcade games, check out Sonic Dream Team. There should be a free Apple Arcade trial that you can sign up for, or pay less than $10 a month to check it out. The game is only 3 to 4 hours long, depending on how many collectibles you go for. I'm not joking when I say this. Sonic Dream Team is superb, and I cannot sing its praises enough. And yeah, that is all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you guys want more videos like this, you can hit the like button and subscribe. I put new videos up on Saturdays. If you guys want to follow me on social media, at TV Sonic Gaming. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, pretty much everything at TV Sonic Gaming. And you can check out my podcast called the Travis and Dames Podcast. We talk about games, movies, and anime every other week. And yeah, that is all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching this video once again. And I will see you guys next time with more videos.